Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm Ali from Spoken to Symbol Homestead here in New Zealand. This video covers the rest of the day we left in part 1, and it also covers the rest of December, so I hope you enjoy watching. Good evening, it's the tail end of Monday. It's around about 8 o'clock. Beautiful mild evening, a little bit of a breeze but not too bad. I thought I'd take you on a walk to show you that I did actually manage to get done pretty much all I wanted to today. So there's one of the Tithonia there, that's the smallest one. We've put the stake there so we don't fall over it or walk into it or anything like that. I got the cage cut in half, so there is the Louisa plum, and I put a little bit of mulch, a bit of Takasesti around it. It needs more, but that will do for tonight. Moving on over here, that Tithonia is quite, there it is, that one's quite, it's the biggest one, so it's pretty sturdy and a nice little clearing there. And then moving around here through this sedgy plant. This is one of the Takasesti that I was able to dig up and replant. The other one had quite a lot of brambles around it, so I wasn't quite so keen on getting that one. There's another one of the Tithonia again. We have put a stake in front of it. When hubby was walking through here earlier, he almost stood on it, so we thought that that was the best thing to do. And then there's the last Tithonia there, and then coming over here there's the pear with its cut down cage, and it needs a bit of tidying and mulching, maybe tomorrow. And then there's an acacia which I have popped in there as well. I came up here to near my greenhouse and potting shed right there, and I thought I'll plant that oak. So I started to dig the hole, and it's one of the spots around here. The topsoil came off fairly easy, and then rocks, lots of rocks. So I'm going to cover the bucket. Doesn't matter if it rains and some water goes in the hole, and then perhaps tomorrow. Just before I go in for the night, this is the peach where I put the other half of the cage from the apricot around it. So it's growing really well. It grew from a seedling. It's pretty hardy, doesn't have a stake. Waiting to see how it does. And the brown stuff in there is some comfrey mulch. It's probably just about ready for me to add some more. There we go, and it's obviously getting dark. You might not be able to see it, but my little light has just come on, changes colour, makes me smile. And if we come around here, the girls have gone to bed. 4 of them seem to sleep outside, and I think there are 2 in the nesting boxes. Yeah, these 2 girls prefer to sleep in here. That's Shirley, the white one, and Bobby, the speckled one. And these girls here are, it's a little bit hard to tell. I can tell them apart. There is Susie, and then Hyacinth, the grey, is a lavender Oricana, and then Meg, and I think just moving around there is Gilda. She's got a beautiful ruff, lovely and golden. It's Tuesday, and after a reasonably mild day yesterday, it's pretty windy today. These 2 Egyptian willows here that you can see in the foreground are getting a little bit blown around and have been for a little while. So I'll go a little bit closer, and you can see this one especially is on a bit of an angle. That one's not quite so bad, but could still do with some support, so I have a couple of stakes to bang in. So that's the 2 Egyptian willows staked. I've driven the stakes in about 250 millimeters. I've tied them up with lycra. What I like about the lycra is that I can cut it about 5 centimeters or 2 inches wide, and you give it a pull and it rolls together and it makes quite a strong, nice tie. Plus it's pretty flexible. It's still awfully windy at the moment. In fact, the wind changed from north to south. It's been changing all day. This little peach, which has been doing so well, when I came to check it this afternoon, it was really blowing around. Blowing from the south, it was bending right over towards the brown fence. And so to keep it from blowing over any further, I decided, right, a couple of stakes and a couple of ties. So again, some lycra, and even though the wind is still quite strong, it seems to be giving it the support it needs. The reason I like to use the lycra strips as ties is that the tree can flex and move a bit. The lycra stretches, but it keeps the tree stable enough that it gets support but can still grow a strong root system because it has a little bit of movement. Good afternoon, it's Sunday the 28th of December here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. It's really hot today in the sun, so I have come down beside the stream to do a little bit of tidying up. I've got my cart with my trusty little chainsaw. It's a little Greenworks 12 volt battery operated. It's big enough for me and it's small enough to carry around and do small jobs. I've got some loppers. Hiding under my hat I have a pruning saw as well. I also have a tarp to put the really spindly stuff on. What I'm hoping to do is to clear some of this. Some of it is what we cut down a couple of weeks ago. Some of it is what the council cut down. That is newer and fresher and green. So I intend to chop and lop and get some of it sorted, and then any bigger pieces will go into my cart, and later on my lovely husband will come down and help me to push the cart up because it can get quite heavy and there's a bit of a bank to climb up. We've got Paddy there. He is probably going to go back up. Yep, off we go. He'll go and sit up top and wait. I also have my trusty sidekick Misty on a long lead, tied, so she can get into the water and have a bit of a play, but she can't run off down the stream where I need to chase her. Time for a wee breather. I'm getting some of the smaller stuff into the cart. The really spindly stuff onto the tarp, which I'll put somewhere to break down more. And there's Misty, still on her lead, but one issue with her being on the lead is she tends to get tangled around things quite often. It's early evening now. I've been up and had a hot drink, a cup of cocoa, and I thought I'd just do a very quick shot of what I got done. It's a little bit clearer. There's a stump I used when I was using my little chainsaw, and there is still a fair bit to do, but I will just chip away at it. There's quite a bit more in the trees as well. One of the reasons I want to get it cleared is looking up into this willow, this big willow here. It might be a bit hard to see, but there's actually quite a large dead branch up there, and I would like to cut that off, or probably hubby will help, so that it doesn't break off and cause some damage, or worse, hit somebody when it falls off. Earlier today we weeded this potato patch. The grass was growing up around it and there was quite a lot of buttercup as well. So we've weeded it, and my dear hubby was busy with the weed eater, and the end result is that he has cut a lot of the grass here on this side. Looking around to this side, there is still lots of long grass, but that's okay. We can take it down with the weed eater or the scythe. Once I was finished what I was doing down by the stream, I came out here and put all of this mulch straw around the potatoes, just to give them a little bit more protection and keep some water in when it rains, so that they will hopefully grow lots of yummy spuds for us. And looking down the far end there towards the fence, we've decided we're going to get another bag of seed potatoes, because there is enough room for another bag of them to plant them, and then they should come up and grow, and we'll have a little bit of a succession of potatoes going on. It's Tuesday evening, a couple of days after I cleared a lot of this willow, and the reason why I like to try and keep on top of it is because from day to day this stream can change. We've had a lot of rain in the last couple of days, and as you can see from a couple of days ago, it's a lot fuller and a lot faster. And if it were to come up all the way, and the furthest I've seen it is up to the gate there and going into the field just over there between the willow and by this big old willow. It's a phenomenal amount of water, and it could take away a lot of this brush that's lying around. So this is my sign off for 2025. We've had Christmas and we've had a lovely time with family and friends, and I hope you have as well. I'm looking forward to the new year and to sharing more of our life here on our small homestead. And I'd like to say thanks for watching. I'd also like to say from me to you, wherever you are in the world, until we meet again, fare thee well.